Hello everyone, welcome to Close Up on America's Business, the program that takes you inside some of the most unique and successful companies in America. I'm Janice Marie. On each edition of our show, you have the opportunity to meet some of the most innovative business leaders in the country today. You'll find out what their products, services, technologies, and business models can do for you, and what they're doing to change our world and to change the way we do business.
It's an undeniable fact that lawyers are often the butt of many jokes. I certainly don't have to tell you that. But in reality, lawyers do far more good than they are ever given credit for. And that is something that becomes readily apparent when you come across a law firm that is truly dedicated to making a difference. And that describes the law firm headquartered in this quaint little house located directly across the street from the courthouse here in the picturesque community of San Luis Obispo on California's Central Coast. The fact is, some of the most notable personal injury lawsuit awards in California history have been won by this 30-year-old firm of Ernst and Mattison. From the very outset, their stated goal has been to make a difference. And to learn just how they have gone about doing that, we visited with the firm's two principal partners, Don Ernst and Ray Mattison.
We represent injured parties, insurance policyholders, and consumers. And from the traditional car accident case to the exotic class actions involving insurance policies, we don't represent the defense, we don't work for corporations or any of that. And there's two reasons for that. One is that's just our philosophical attitude, that's just where we started in life. And the other reason is it's so much more fun and satisfying. I've represented the county of San Luis Obispo for years. Loved representing the Sheriff's Department, represented a lot of police officers in excessive force and civil rights cases. But at the end of the day, it gives you this great feeling to take somebody who walks in with a problem and they walk out with the problem solved. I mean, if it was like communist Russia and we all got paid the same, this would be my job.
Don, give me your version of this law firm. How do you describe it?
The law firm typically handles most civil litigation from a plaintiff's standpoint. We represent people that need help. We represent people that can't help themselves, regular people. And we generally represent regular people who have a problem with a major corporation, an insurance company, have suffered a horrific loss in their lives, lost a loved one, or an insurance policy that won't pay. We do handle some accidents if they involve death, serious bodily injury, but by and large, we don't do divorces, we don't do criminal law. We are a civil plaintiff's firm that handles serious personal injury, insurance bad faith. We do some class action annuity work. We try and make a difference in people's lives.
There was an ad in the local magazine suggesting that anyone who had an investment with this company, with a certain company, should contact this law firm. Having one of those investments, I contacted them and found that they were going to be undertaking a lawsuit against the company.
And what was the lawsuit actually based on?
The company was taking too much in surrender charges for the first 10 years that one owned this annuity investment. They targeted selling these investments to the elderly with the possibility that they would pass away before the company would need to pay out.
And after it was all over, what was the result of the trial?
The result was recovery of about 80% of each investor's investment, as well as recovery of the penalty.
So tell me how you felt working with this law firm. Obviously, you got to know them very well.
They treat you like family. Needless to say, they're extremely intelligent, and if you have to give a deposition and you have Ray Mattison beside you, you feel very comfortable.
You handle all your cases on a contingency basis. I'm wondering, isn't that somewhat risky? Because after all, if you don't win the case, you don't get paid.
It is high risk and you have to appraise it, and hopefully you make up for the losses, which you're going to have. Like Tom Girardi told me, I asked Tom, I said, "Do you win all your cases, Tom?" And he said, "No, Ray. Anybody who tells you that's not trying any of the hard ones." And he's right. So you do a risk management thing, and you sit and you try to look at your caseload like a portfolio of real estate investments or stocks. You have to do that because you don't do your clients any good by going under, like John Travolta in Class Action. That's a classic example. Boy, we've all had friends who've had that happen. And the other thing you do is you diversify by adding allies. And so our two firms share the cases, and we work over the internet. And so that protects you from suddenly having the entire law firm working on one case.
Some of our best cases came from situations that would not normally be viewed as a large case. They were situations in which people found themselves to have a problem, and we looked at the problem, realized it was industry-wide, and then we made a class action out of it. We like to view ourselves as lawyers living in a central coast of California, what would normally be referred to as a small-town lawyer, but we do large cases that affect people across California and in some cases across the country.
What process do you go through here to determine whether or not you're going to take on a case?
People will call the office and with a particular kind of case, they'll do an intake. If it rises to a certain level, peaks in interest, we have lawyers take the calls. We will actually hold a meeting. If we think a case is meritorious that we would like to be involved with, we actually have a meeting where the associates, my partner, we sit around a table and actually talk about the case. We pitch the case. Do we want to take this case on? And we have to have the vast majority of the firm say, this is the case we want to do. And the goal is to take a case that will keep us in business and hopefully make a difference.
You know, what I find very interesting is some of these cases take a long time, several years, in fact.
Our average personal injury case in San Luis Obispo takes 18 months, about. Our class actions are long, but generally we've been able to resolve those in 3 to 5 years.
Talk to me about some of your more memorable cases, and you've had many.
The ones that really stick in your mind are the day-to-day ones, where you take an iron worker who's lost his job, his career, he's starting to lose his family, and you've taken care of him. You've gotten him a lifetime income. He's got medical care, and that's just the great feeling. The other one is the intellectual reward in these class actions and insurance cases of not only winning your case, but like in the Blue Shield cases, if we're successful, we're going to get the insurance coverage back for the roughly 1,000 people they canceled, as well as reimbursing them. And so you feel like you're doing good in a general way. We've had products liability cases against Ford, Caterpillar, Chrysler, class actions against State Farm. Right now we are class counsel in 4 class actions against the annuity companies for improper senior sales. There's no reason you can't do that in San Luis Obispo. We've got great judges, fair juries, and court calendars that aren't that long.
Ray and I both participate in the usual and customary charities in our own county, and we try and help out where we can. But I have been very fortunate, and last year I served as the president of what used to be the California Trial Lawyers Association and is now known as the Statewide Consumer Attorneys of California. I'm elected to that position, and I was elected by my peers across the state. It's really never been done in a small town, and that translated into representing people that couldn't represent themselves, consumers, to make sure that good legislation was passed and bad legislation wasn't. And I can tell you that the same energy, the same force that we represent our individual clients here in this law firm translated into working for consumers across the state, both in passing legislation that made a difference in their lives and stopping legislation that would have hurt them in many different ways. I'm very proud to have served the Consumer Attorneys of California in that role. I think we made a difference across the state. This law firm, in my view, and what I've tried to do over time, is to make a difference. We want to make a difference in people's lives. We want to make a difference in the clients that we represent. And if we are lucky enough, we want a case that will make a difference not only for our client, but for society as a whole. We're looking to make this place better. I believe in America. It's a great country. But America, like every country, can be improved. And hopefully what we're doing improves it. Contrary to what a lot of people think. I really think that what we're doing is making a difference in people's lives.
A view behind the scenes at the success of one of California's most highly regarded personal injury law firms, Ernst & Mattison. I'm Doug Llewellyn, reporting from San Luis Obispo, California.
Well, that does it for this edition of Close Up on America's Business. I'm Janice Marie. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.